Alright, good evening everybody, and welcome to BBL Season 8, Week 3. As the Super Duper Melonheads are going to take on the Texas Rangers. Melonheads last week put up a clinic with a multiplier. They ended up putting up 38 runs at Tin Can Alley, winning the matchup 38-7. We are looking to have more of the same sort of dynamite offense tonight against the Rangers. Rangers are coached by R.U. Tyler and are 2-0 currently. After a very strong Week 1 and okay and good enough to win Week 2. We will see how this one goes. As far as the Predictor Challenge, for the third week in a row, the Melonheads are heavily favored to win, with 11 different people picking the Melonheads in our Predictor Challenge as the winning team, and only 3 people, Question Monkey, Chris Blanco, and Nathan Disney, being brave enough to back the Rangers. Also notably, with the Melonheads, even though the Melonheads had their gigantic game last week, we still qualify for the upset officially because we have a worse record, and 8 different people took advantage of that, picked the Melonheads as their upset, by far the most popular upset pick of the week. And then I've also put some extra clout in the Predictor Challenge behind the Melonheads for this game, as I predicted them in the bonus question which team will steal the most bases, and I predicted our own Dmitry Petrovich as the backyard kid who would get the most hits this week. So, a good performance in that regard could get me some nice bonus points that nobody else will get in the Predictor Challenge. We'll see. So yes, my thought in this game, as you can gather from looking at that and listening to me talk about this, I do think the Melonheads will win here. I think this should be our easiest win of the season. A good chance at our highest score of the season. It's a Tin Can Alley game, but we just established that the Melonheads are great at Tin Can Alley, and we'll get into this a bit more in the minute. I am not intimidated at all by this Texas Rangers defense. So, what should happen here is that the Melonheads should win, and it should not be particularly close. This should be another dominating game. Now, the caveat with that is that often the games I'm most confident about, or that seem like the easiest wins, can end up being some of my worst games, or when I put up some of the most annoying losses. That certainly was the case with my other successful Melonheads team back in Season 5. So this might be the game where I just go in overconfident, and it turns out that it was in fact overconfidence, and I was not going to do as good as I thought. And I wasn't getting the best hits in my batting practice tonight, pre-game batting practice with Dmitry, so we'll see if that carries over into the game and this is a disappointment, or if I am in fact able to harness the potential I know I have for this game and put up a big score. So, without further ado, we shall go into the game itself. I see, well, one question first. I see Nate Tastic asking how Dmitry is with power. My opinion, he can occasionally hit it out. In most fields, I would rarely use power with him because he's more likely to just get a long but not out of the park fly ball. I would rather use line drive with him in most fields, but at Tin Can Alley, I think his power swing is quite good with the shorter distance to be a successful hit. So at Tin Can Alley, I favor power over line drive with Dmitry. Anywhere else, I favor line drive. So let's go into the game. I pre-rolled my game last week, so I would know ahead of time if there were any big bad days. There are not. I believe everybody on the team is having a normal day today. So that, as far as I'm concerned, is all good news. Jay Green on the mound after just narrowly missing out on Pitcher of the Week last week. Just outpaced by Amanda Hellerman, and I guess I put Phil Nevin in center because there's not much else place to put him, and in Tin Can Alley, him at center isn't actually bad. Lineup, so we're leaving the fielding order the same. Lineup, also leaving the same. It was more or less successful last week. I don't see any particular place where it needs to be changed. What we really need to change is for Phil Nevin to be better at clutch situations. He got the third out with the bases loaded multiple times last game, and got the least times on base of anybody in that game. Alright, and then, well, no, I pre-rolled so that I wouldn't be surprised tonight by any bad days. I was going to have them, I wanted to know about them in advance, and I was just fortunate enough that I didn't have any. As for the Rangers, let's see, Felix Grant has a hitting nerf, that's probably not going to do much. Amir has his normal boost with Augment. Okay, this could be big, actually. Billie Jean with a boost across the board, the big one being 2 to running, so she goes up the speed tier. That could be significant. As well as maybe the field boost. But on the whole, I don't think this is a very scary defense. There's only one player on this defense who intimidates me. That's Pete Wheeler, and he's stowed away in center field, which at Tin Can Alley I think is going to be one of the least impactful positions. So, and other than that, not too worried. Cindy Chang in right field probably isn't gonna do much compared to anybody else on this team. Annie Frazier in left, gonna be decent enough at getting it in, but not exactly great. Ahmed at third, no problem. Felix at short, he could get the ball to first quickly enough, but we found out that his and Heather's arms aren't as good as I used to think they are, so that's not too scary, and he's slow, so that's gonna be good. Definitely an upgrade from having to face A-Rod. Lorelei at second base, not worried about that. Billie Jean at first, normally not worried about that. We'll see how she is this game. She's gonna be a vacuum cleaner at first base, but I'm not too worried about her gunning the ball anywhere. Matessa on the mound is not terrible, but also not great. I'm not too worried, and I think we can tire her out without much problem. And the big one is Amir Khan behind the plate. Even boosted, Amir Khan is one of the catchers I know best as being really, really bad to have in that position. We should be stealing bases off of him for days. It shouldn't take very long before almost any of my players can steal any base at will, so that ought to be a nice big advantage for this game. The other notable thing about this team is that they have really, really bad pitching depth. Matessa can pitch well. The highest anybody else has on this team is Billie Jean's boosted 6. So this team is going to be to fall apart, I think, pretty quickly once I get through the initial hurdle of Matessa. Going to be a lot of bad pitchers who aren't going to do too much and are going to get tired out on the mound, so I think we are going to see this team really fall apart over the course of the game. Just have to get through Matessa early on, and she's not the hardest pitcher to get through. Alright, and without further ado, I think we are ready to begin. Enough chit-chat, on to the game. Alright, I can now vouch for Ace jumping at the last minute from Monsters to Melonheads for the which team will steal the most bases part of the Predictor Challenge. So, Jay Green again, off a successful pitching performance last week on the mound, gets a nice easy starter in Cindy Chang, an easy strikeout, one of, if not the worst hitter in the game. Pete Wheeler, again, the one player who's I'm really worried about this game, is, as we all know, a very good all-around player. Not the best pure home run hitter in the game, but other than that, he is elite. And I hesitate a bit too much because I didn't think I had to play at first. I might have, but I, again, waited too long. Rangers might put up some runs against me in this game. Definitely a possibility. They have a pretty good offense. Ahmed hitting one off the wall here, but not stuck up on the trailer, so we are able to get in time. Trying to figure out how to get the ball into the infield without throwing it away. A single for Ahmed, and yeah. And now Amir Khan is up, and Amir is a player who normally really gives me fits at the plate. Fortunately, this time he just pops into an infield fly. I was excited for the possibility of a double play there for a moment, but I was reminded about the infield fly rule, and that is why it exists. Alright, 2 outs now, which is good. We have a play at any base. Billie Jean Black with a hitter. Normally, this would be a perfect situation. With her boost, she could do some more damage. We'll see. Pop up, okay. And not bonking it to... Ooh, but Stan gets it on the one hop instead of catching it, and that is enough to let Pete Wheeler score. 1-0 Rangers. Fortunately, Ahmed was too bold, and we were able to tag him out to end the half inning. So Rangers do put 1 run on the board, but If this game goes anything like I'm expecting it to, then it is not going to be a problem. Also, your Billie Jean was sitting in the 5 spot, not the 4 spot. Anyway, Lindsay Felgate leading off a Batter of the Week title last week, as she hit for the cycle with 2 extra doubles. So the reigning Batter of the Week, and hits an easy off-the-wall single to start off this inning. I will go ahead and demonstrate the Rangers lineup. Cindy, Pete, Ahmed, Amir, Billie Jean is 5th, in fact. So, yeah. I don't know if Lindsay will steal 2, but she will certainly steal 2nd. Sheila Basanti, now the hitter, had a decent day. Actually not the best, especially considering she was boosted. But still, solid day at the plate last week. And I thought I had an easy extra base as they threw past it. Lindsay tripped, but as it turns out, she was still able to take 3rd easily. So steals 2nd, and then as nobody catches the ball at 2nd, also takes 3rd. I don't know if the game will count that as a stolen base. We can... let's go ahead and check that. I don't know... Well, I'm a bit distracted is the thing. That counts as 2 stolen bases for Lindsay. Very nice. Off to a good start. If I was paying more attention, I would have gone home there. However, I wasn't on the ball enough. By the time I recognized it, Pete had too good of a potential to get her out. If Lindsay does not cross home plate soon this inning anyway, then that's the least of our worries. Anyway, Sheila now 3-1 the count. Grounder is somewhat of a tempting proposition here. The problem is, when I tried using grounders with Sheila and Shane, it just didn't work. They were hitting pop-ups instead of grounders. Pops one up towards 2nd, and Lorelei drops it. Perfect. That's just the sort of break we need to have throughout this game. Lindsay scores on an RBI single by Sheila. Melonheads have already made up for the Rangers score. Just 2 hitter batters. Anyway, yeah. This is not a good team for grounders, I think, because everybody's power is too high. I think the danger is just too high of there being, of them just hitting pop-ups or hard grounders straight to a fielder. So, not a good grounder ball team. I will rarely, if ever, be using grounders this season. Even against a team like this where I think their infield is good for it. Okay. Can't steal third base at will quite yet. Gotta tire out Amir a bit more. Ahmed throws one that bounces right past Matessa as she does nothing. Matessa has already tossed 10 pitches, so not looking good for her. And I almost thought I just watched strike 3 go by there. Saw it, instantly thought I'm not going to swing. Realized there were 2 strikes and it was too late, but fortunately, just inside. I thought that one was going to be called strike 3 too. Thought it was going to be a ball, then it was crossing like, oh no, that's a strike. But nope, just barely a ball. Matessa having lots of troubles hitting the strike zone, and we're really early in the game here. Swing a bit late on that one to foul it off. 2-2 the count, decide to swing at that one to avoid the strikeout. Grounder to Ahmed, there's not going to be a play on that one. Single for Dimitri. Yeah, that last one might have been a ball, but I wasn't going to try my luck with having there be 3 in a row. Fabian Callahan is up. She's actually apparently having a bad day, even though it didn't reflect in the baseball stats. Fabian also hit for the cycle last game, although admittedly the home run for that relied on a rather silly bit where the ball just slowly bounced past the right fielder without her doing anything to chase it. Pop up towards first, that's going to be an infield fly. Fortunately, it was with Fabian, the least valuable runner to have on base here. 1 infield fly doesn't worry me too much. If Jay Green infield flies, that'll be a whole different issue. Jay, after a rough first game, bounced back pretty well in the second game. Took him a few innings to get started with just some dinky singles, but eventually was producing. The reigning MVP, but he is definitely playing second fiddle to Lindsay so far this season. Takes 2 balls straight in a row. And there you go. Big hit. That one's going to make it onto the trailer, I think. Yep. Made me doubt for just a moment there. That's going to be at least a double. Getting stuck on the lip, and it's called a ground rule double. Sheila will come in to score, nobody else will disadbat. But ground rule double for Jay Green is now 2-1 Melonheads. I mean, keep in mind, Jay Green did have a bad day in the first week, which didn't help. Shane Smith now up. Had a weak opening day, but got on base every single at-bat last game. Hoping he'll continue that here. One nice thing about this team, even Shane and Sheila have the power to, oh my goodness. We're going for it. Even Shane and Sheila have the power to hit the trailer pretty reliably here. And get on base that way. So Dimitri scores as Ahmed throws one past Matessa. Ground ball single for Shane. It is now 3-1 Melonheads. One run away from outdoing our first inning from last game. And Heather Quinn is a hitter. That one looked too good. I shouldn't have swung at that one, maybe. And Pete catches it. Ooh, man, Pete shifting over, running into left field to snag the ball. Unfortunate there. That should, by all means, have landed and been another base hit, but Pete doing Pete things. We are going to try to steal third base with Jay Green. I am too afraid to go through with it. That one would have been close. Too close for comfort. Pete is playing about half of the positions in this defense right now. No extra steals yet. And Stan swings early for strike 2. And getting... Jay has gotten somewhat tired out from pitching. Alright, Stan hits one up the middle. Fumble by Tessa. She's able to recover, though, and throw Jay out at third. Trying to steal third base was a mistake, as it might well have left him too low on stamina to make that. So, Stan grounds out to end the inning. Only 3 runs for the Melonheads in the first, but a solid foundation for innings to come. Biggest downside is Phil Nevin is going to be batting leadoff, which is not a great position for him. And he hits a super easy nothing ball that Lindsay catches. Matessa Sturgis now up. I know technically strikeouts aren't the best idea because they'll help Matessa recover stamina. I would like 1, though, to get more juice from Jay. He might need it. But first 2 hitters just hit easy outs, bringing up Lorelei Ikaye, who has a very deceptive 10-bat as her headlining stat. Lines the first pitch up to Fabian, who catches it easy, and that was a very short top of the second inning. Rangers already with 2 errors on the board. Yeah, Matessa threw 26 pitches just in the first inning, so not looking great for this defense. Might take a couple more innings, but they are going to crack. Phil Nevin now up, as I mentioned before, put on the most disappointing performance last game. Only 3 hits with multiple lame outs in clutch situations. I mean, I do have Phil batting 9th for very good synergy reasons. I would have him batting 4th, but having Fabian batting 9th offers too many possibilities for double plays with Heather. So, Phil might fit instead. Anyway, Phil is able to single off the wall to start off the inning. We're going to see if he can steal second as well. As Lindsay Felgate is up, should do some wonderful things for us here at the plate. Amir chooses to throw to third instead. Phil wouldn't be able to steal third. Almost anybody else would. And Pete is playing second base for Lorelei. Runner on second now, nobody out. Can't quite make it to third yet safely with Phil. But the unlimited steals of third base will be coming soon. Ball 1 for Lindsay, that's probably... no, strike 2. This is going to be one of those games, I think, where there is one player who is the only thing holding this defense together, and in this game, that is going to be Pete. Now, I wish he was in right field instead of center field, but oh well. Can't expect everyone to build their defense just to give me advantages. And Lindsay, with her first out of the season, that sucks, as she lines one straight to Annie Fraser. Happens to the best of them. Alright, 1 out. Sheila Basanti, the hitter. Take strike 1. I mean, don't give Annie too much credit here. She had to do barely anything. Even Angela could have caught that one. 1-1 the count on Sheila. Going to continue racking up the pitches on Matessa, who's already thrown, I think, about 15 pitches this inning alone. Barely gets in the strike zone for that one, but that one would have been a great one to swing at anyway. 2-2 the count, and Matessa Sturgis is off the mound. The one pitcher on the Rangers pitching staff is done. Billie Jean Blackwood now. Unfortunately, she does have a boost, and she is tall, which is a problem for things like this, but she drops this one. I thought she was going to catch it, even after it hit her head. I thought she was going to catch it on the bounce down, but no. No, she didn't, so Sheila to first on an error. Even on pop-ups like that, though, regardless of the glove they have, that's usually an easy catch for them. Anyway, we'll see if Billie Jean can do anything worthwhile at all on the mound here. Phil rushing into third just barely makes it, and the floodgates of stealing bases have officially opened. Matessa Sturgis did go to first base, where she's probably going to be very useless. The thing is, there's going to be very little for first base to do. I don't think Billie Jean got a single play while she was playing first. This is not a game. This is not a team, a field, or a defense where there are going to be plays being made at first, I think. So that's not going to be too impactful. The outfield, I think, is much more impactful. Having Pete and Annie with such poor pitching ratings is an advantage here, actually, because they're probably going to be playing out there a lot. Anyway, 3-1 the count already. Billie Jean having trouble hitting the strike zone, and she barely started pitching. And Dimitri grounds one straight to Billie Jean. Throws it, and Matessa is able to play first base well enough to get that out. It doesn't matter how bad the defense is. If you're hitting the ball straight to the defenders, they can still do stuff. So now we have 2 outs. No runs scored yet. Hopefully Fabian can get a good hit here and bring in 2 or 3 runs to score. But still, this is all progress, laying the groundwork. The big scoring is going to happen later, and Fabian hits one into the ground. Billie Jean throws to first. Matessa is able to make the play. Fabian back to her week 1 ways. Only able to hit one into the ground, and that just doesn't cut it with Fabian. So, disappointing second inning. We were not able to score any runs. Still only 3 runs on the board, but again, we are making progress in the really important part, which is wearing down this defense. I only scored 9 runs in the first 4 innings last week against the Giants. It was in the 5th inning where the real magic happened, so not getting discouraged here yet. Hit straight to Stan, and he bounces it off himself, but then manages to catch it anyway. Stan, by far the best defender on this team, and that, I'm convinced, was a pure flex right there. Cindy Chang now the hitter, hoping to collect an easy strikeout here and get more juice that Jay could use. The problem with Jay as a pitcher is he does not have good stamina. And he manages to throw 2 balls in a row, which certainly doesn't help. 2-1 the count as Cindy swings at strike 1. Swing and a miss for strike 2. Alright, should be able to get the K here. On a hitter as weak as Cindy. And we do. Second out, second strikeout for Jay Green. Not as strong of a game in that regard as last week, but he's getting the job done pretty well so far. But, of course, now Pete Wheeler is up. Hopefully he will not score another run unless we will be able to get him out safely, and that'll be that. Jay Green juicing up. He's batting leadoff in the bottom of the inning, so definitely want him at full strength. And we have no play as Heather ran to field the ball, and Pete singles. You got no room for error when you are defending against Pete Wheeler on a pavement field. Not going to even try to throw him out. That would just be a waste of stamina. 0-1 the count on Ahmed. Regardless of stamina refunds, I will happily take a strikeout here. if it means Ahmed can't do worse damage elsewhere. But Ahmed on point here, fouls one off to keep the at-bat alive. Jay's best pitch is a heat, and it's a nice one for strike 3, but to a power hitter like Ahmed, I think it would be not good to toss one of those out. Ahmed fouls another one off, prolonging this at-bat indefinitely. And that's his third foul. He is doing a very good human player impression here. And Jay slips up, tosses ball 2. 2-2 the count now. Jay's more juice wearing out, but finally gets Ahmed to hit a dinky line drive that Jay can easily field, so we are out of the top of the third. Going into the bottom of the third, looking for a big rally here. It's currently 3-1 Melonheads. Jay Green leading off after a double in the first. Hits one down the first base line. Would have been good, but is just foul. I think once we get Billie Jean off the mound, that will truly be the opening of the floodgates. With her pitching boost and also height and presence on the mound there, Billie Jean is somewhat of a threat on the mound. Once she's off, I don't think we'll have much trouble there. Jay is able to single on the ground ball towards second. Again, just almost everything about this team is perfect for Tin Can Alley. Even if it's a grounder, almost anybody can beat out a Simmons grounder on this team. Jay steals second easily. Amir ending up making the relay through the pitcher's mound, but is nowhere close to getting him out anyway. We'll steal third if we get the chance, but I will not take a good-looking pitch to do that. That's not a good-looking pitch, though. It is a strike. So it's now 0-2 on Shane. Got to swing defensively. Jay steals third. Again, as long as I do even half as good as I was expecting to do this game, we'll have that steal record easy. Bounces past Billie Jean. Should be an easy single for Shane, made even easier as Felix throws it to third instead of first. No play is made, and there are now runners on the corners. Heather Quinn, the hitter, 0 for 1 today. Should have had a single, but was foiled by Pete Wheeler. Shane steals second, uncontested. Amir can still sort of run, but he's not too far, I think, from being a complete non-entity on the field. Heather takes... Oh, strike 2. Billie Jean getting in some nasty corner pitches here. I would like to get her off the mound as soon as possible, because she's doing well so far, and I don't know if that would have been called a strike or not. In any case, Heather unsuccessfully swings at it to strike out for the first out. Alright, Stan Olafson, the hitter. Stan and then Phil up. One of them should be able to get a good hit that bats in my 2 runners. Takes ball 1. 1-0 count. Gonna take that one. That is actually a ball. I thought it was gonna be a strike on the inside edge, but not a good one to swing at, but it was ball 2. And Stan fouls one off there. 2-1. Billie Jean starting to lose effectiveness here on the mound, and Stan belts one to right. That is going to be just foul, which is a shame because that would have been a very nice hit otherwise. 2-2 the count now. Stan switches to line drive. Stan was the third out of the first inning. Lines one here. That was going to land as Pete goes for the one hop instead. Can't handle that one, even though he was specifically waiting for it. Throws one into no man's land. Stan is going to take second base. I could wait and steal, but that would be kind of cheesy. I'll just take it now. Not going to go for third there because there's a pause. Oh my goodness, and Amir just blunders into Billie Jean. What is going on here? This team has fallen apart on defense already. Alright, 2 RBI double for Stan. It's now 5-1 Melonheads. Phil Nevin, the hitter. Got the single earlier. And I thought that was a nice pitch on which to belt one to the wall. Instead, he pops one up. Fortunately, Billie Jean's poor glove is coming into play, very much to my advantage here, as she double drops it. Most pitchers would be able to catch balls like that easily, but Billie Jean has fumbled too, so for the good for me. Billie Jean definitely is down on effectiveness at this point. Lindsay takes strike one as the two hitters steal easily. Could have been in some trouble if Amir had thrown right away, but yeah, he's at the point where he poses no threat at all. And Lindsay, once again, lines one straight to a fielder. To be fair, again, if anybody else on this team was on the mound there, that would have been a base hit. But happened to have the freakishly tall Billie Jean there, and she was able to catch the line drive. I hate those balls, and Lindsay now only 1 for 3 today after 2 line drives directly to fielders. Feels bad, man. Alright, 2-0 for Sheila. We are hoping to score at least one more run this inning, and it's a pop-up. So far, my batting practice fears are coming true, and we are just not getting good hits here. Lots of line drives straight to fielders, dinky grounders, little pops, so only 5 runs after 3 innings. Gotta shape up soon if we're gonna win this game. So, Melonheads exit to the 3rd inning with only 2 more runs scored. Still have time to make some good progress, but it's starting to run out. Amir pops out to short, and Billie Jean's now up. These two were much bigger threats when they batted in the 1st inning. Now that they are both quite tired out, they shouldn't be much trouble. Billie Jean bunts. Well, she's not 100% tired out, but she's pretty tired. Lindsay is able to catch that bunt before it even lands on the ground. Annie Frazier the hitter. Yeah, this is a similar trajectory to what we had last game. But I prefer to get my big scoring in early so I can feel better about it. Annie also bunts. Her bunt is actually somewhat credible. It hits the ground and she can run. However, she cannot run fast enough to beat it out. 3 up, 3 down for the Rangers in an uneventful top of the 4th. Going into the bottom. Looking to do some real damage here, finally. Dimitri leading us off in the quest. Also, I feel like my hitting, even up to this point last game, was better. Gotta get some more good hits in here. Or some walks. I'll take walks. Walks are good. Billie Jean not throwing the ball anywhere near the strike zone. Her days on the mound are numbered for sure. And I will be happy to not have her threatening to catch any line drives up the middle anymore. 2-1 the count on Dimitri. That actually would have been a decent ball pitch to swing at. Didn't look it originally, but it was. And another one on the bottom corner. Billie Jean's still somewhat effective here on the mound, making me worry. 2-2. And nice line drive. That one's going against the trailer. Dimitri and Stan can put it on the trailer definitely when there's when they're using power, but on line drive, I don't think they quite have enough in their bats. So Dimitri singles and then takes second on a throw, because why not? The Billie Jean is boosted to 10 hitting, 8 running, and it has and 6 pitching, 5 fielding, I think. Nobody on my Fabian has an imperceptible nerf. It doesn't show up on the strategy screen, and that is it for my team. Fabian 0 for 2 today. No good hits yet. Dimitri steals 3rd easily. And yeah, that bad day has been coming through, I guess, because she hasn't had any good hits yet. 0-1 the count on Fabian. Fouls one off. Yep, Amir is already past the point of usefulness up behind the plate. Fabian grounds one. Gonna have to hope once again that there's enough. Here, Pete gets it immediately, but throws it past Matessa. Almost catches it in time to tag first base and get Fabian out anyway, but not quite. Fabian beats out the single this time. Dimitri scores it 6-1 Melonheads. Good hit by Jay here, and we're just fine with Fabian. Jay Green, 2 for 2 today with a off the trailer ground rule double and a ground ball single. Fouls the first one off, 0-1. And I did not think that was strike 2, but the game did. 0-2 the count on Jay. That one's it. 1-2. Billie Jean's still tossing enough nasty strikes in there to keep me worried. Keep me on edge, and that can be valuable, just a psychological edge. That, on the other hand, was nowhere near the strike zone. 2-2 the count. Low for ball 3. Full count now on Jay. 2 strikes followed by 3 balls. What will this last one be? Really close. Ball 4. That was too close for comfort. It looked like a strike as it was crossing the plate. But it was a ball. So Jay Green draws a walk, which is good enough. Anything that advances Fabian safely. A walk now with Shane would be perfect. Shane 2 for 2 with 2 singles. Has not gotten an out since opening week. Because Fabian's on base and I never steal with Fabian, and I forgot about even the possibility. I mean, we can try. However, as tired as Amir is, he's not that useless behind the plate. Amir probably could have made the successful relay through pitcher to get her at second, too. Alright, 3-0 on Shane, looking like a walk, which would be perfect news. Fabian on third with... Fabian on third is a great situation. Don't need much there for her to score. Not giving me the walk, so Stan goes for a grounder instead. Makes it past Matessa. That's giving time for them to be safe at first and second, and enough time for Fabian to be safe at third as well. It's a single by Stan. Everybody's safe. Heather Quinn, the hitter. Let's see if she can really deliver without a power-up for the first time this season. I know she has the ability to get a nice line drive hit. And ground ball this time. Down the third base line. Ahmed arrests the ball in its tracks, but is not able to get anybody out. Fabian crosses the plate to score. RBI single for Heather Quinn. 7-1 Melonheads. Never say that Heather is a useless player. Stan Olafson now up. Hit a double here. It seems like the Melonheads might finally be getting into the groove here. Don't want to call it too soon. But nobody out. We have Stan, Phil, and Lindsay as the next 3 hitters. I should be able to score 2 more runs at least. Two 2-0 the count on Stan. You know, a walk here to score a run, and then Phil's up next. That's not bad at all. And it is indeed going to be a walk on 4 pitches. Billie Jean at the end of her rope here. Stan draws a walk. Jay Green scores. It is 8-1 Melonheads, and the hardest space for Heather to take. Second base has been taken. Phil Nevin now up 2 for 2 with 2 singles. Let's see if he can deliver today with the bases loaded. And again, walking in a run, I'm perfectly fine with. Lindsay is on deck. She can hit for power. 2-0 the count. I've scored 5 runs now since Billie Jean came in, and she is doing nothing on the mound. It's got to be soon, and an infield fly call on Phil, unfortunately. So, that is unfortunate. Lindsay Felgate now the hitter. Swinging for power here. She's only 1 for 3 after her batter of the week last week, as she has hit 2 straight line drives straight to fielders. Billie Jean, as if she wasn't dead enough, is now throwing a slow-mo pitch. Okay, when are you coming off the mound? I've scored 5 runs on you. You have no stamina left. And that's a nice hit by Lindsay. That's going to go onto the trailer. Easy run scored. Probably 2 easy runs scored, as here comes Heather. Lindsay got to second almost before Stan left. Pete is stuck on the trailer, and he is able to field at least, though. And she's able to throw it in, too. Still, 2 RBI double by Lindsay. Lindsay is back. 2 more runs scored. It's 10-1 Melonheads. And now Felix Grant comes on the mound. You know, Billie Jean at shortstop is not super for me. He's got that height. Oh well. Felix on the mound, on the other hand, should be no problem. Although he does pitch strike 2 against Sheila. Sheila is the queen of strikeouts, striking out when I am playing carelessly. Avoids that this time. High pop-up, though. That's probably going to be a catch by Lorelei. And it is. 2 outs. Nothing great there for Sheila. Maybe I should be trying some damage. I don't know. Dimitri now up 2 for 3 with a single and a double. Will this be the end of the inning, or can he keep us going? Knock in a couple more runs. Yeah, I don't know why nobody was given respect to the Rangers or to the Melonheads. They're both playing at Tin Can Alley against teams with weak defenses and horrible catchers. And yet, up until, well, for one thing, your bunting is against the rules, so thanks for trying to get me to lose with a negative 100. I'm not going to take that bait, though. 3-1 on Dimitri. Felix not pitching well, even as a fresh pitcher. And that one's going to be off the wall, and another run scored. No, Pete gets it. Whew, that was too close to disaster. Okay, not actually that close, but still a little scary. Anyway, I was saying something about Dimitri, and I forgot what it was. So much for that. Fabian now up and gets their first good hit of the game. That's off the wall. That's another run. And Pete gets it. Actually does a dinky throw for once. Oh well. RBI single for Fabian. It is now 12-1 Melonheads. And Jay Green up. Dimitri had the most hits in predictor. Yep, I predicted that because if I keep going and keep going and keep going in this game, that's going to be a lot of hits for him. But anyway, that's right. I was talking about the predictor for steals. Up until Ace did the last-minute prediction change, I was the only one to pick either the Rangers or the Melonheads for most steals, and I think that's just some people failing to fully think about the implications of this matchup. This one's on the newspaper bin. Does look like it's... Nope, not, it does come off, but not in time. Called a ground rule double. Dimitri scores. It's 13-1. Shane Smith is up. And hits the high one into right. Annie is going for it on the one hop, though, so the inning remains alive. Wouldn't let me go for home with Jay soon enough, but that doesn't matter, as the ball bounces past Amir, who ran up to get it. Jay scores, called officially a double by Shane Smith. 15-1 Melonheads. And Felix is done on the mound already. He's going to right field. That's great news for me. He's going to be useless there. Cindy Chang now on the mound, where she shouldn't be much of an issue. She is speedy, but I'm not hitting many pitches on the mound. Heather hoping to keep this rally going, as Shane steals third, uncontested. RBI single earlier in the inning. Without that, we would be done this inning already. Pop up. It's going to go past. It's going to land. Pete's got it, though. Pete Wheeler is the Rangers' defense and is able to throw Heather out at first to end the fun for now. Still, a 10-run inning is just the sort of pick-me-up I needed to feel good about this game again. It is 15-1 Melonheads. We are going to have one more chance to rack up who knows how many runs. Matessa Sturgis up. Still very tired. Hops one up. Jay gets it on the one hop. Doesn't matter. He has plenty of time to pick up the ball, run to first so he doesn't use up a ton of stamina throwing, and get her out. Lorelei, the hitter, she could actually be credible on offense here. Ground ball straight to Fabian. Unfortunately, Heather completely forgets what she's doing at first base. Who knows, this could be a chance to get some more power-ups for Heather. I tried, you know. Someone who didn't know what they were doing could have had that play go a lot worse at first. Felix Scratt now up too. Okay. Well, I almost feel bad about this. Almost. Lucked into the runner getting on first, and then Felix hit a perfect double play ball. So, yep, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, and we better be getting around to Heather, even though she was the last out of last inning. It is, of course, a Crazy Bunt, aka the most useless power-up on Tin Can Alley, for a slow batter. But whatever. I'll take it. Heather is normally a quite good first baseman, thank you very much. But yes, it was all Heather's fault. It was all part of Heather's master plan. Don't blame me, blame Heather. Anyway, 1-2 the count on stand. Cindy is a fresh pitcher. She might be able to do something mildly credible here on the mound. Oh! You're strong! I thought that one was low. It was not low. Strike 3, and we've already got 1 out on the board, which, at this point in the game, is not fun. Phil Nevin, the hitter. 2 for 3, hit an infield fly in his previous at-bat. Actually, with nobody on base, we're just going to swing line drive. Swing to get on base. It doesn't matter how many bases we get. Not with the current catcher situation. Cindy could actually do some damage there if Phil went for second, so we hold. Single for Phil. Lindsay Felgate now the hitter. Hoping she doesn't line it straight to a fielder. Honestly, attempting slow-mo. It was called strike 1. I thought it was too low. Oh well. So, 0-1 the count on Lindsay. The good news is that should have depleted quite a bit of Cindy's stamina. Cindy getting more useless on the mound or anywhere else in the field is just what I need. Amir can barely even run now. Cindy definitely slowed up. Runner on third with 1 out. 1-1 the count. Ball 2. Last time we scored 23 runs in the 5th inning. If we do that again this game, that would put us up to a plus 44. We'll see. Lindsay with another line drive. That one will land. Pete is there, but Pete is not there soon enough. That one bounces into no man's land. That is going to be a triple. No, not a triple. It doesn't give her third base. Oh well. She'll take it anyway. Sheila Basanti is a hitter. At this point, with how Shane and Sheila have been hitting, I'm going to go for grounder. Given the state of this defense and how they've been hitting this game in particular, I'm going grounder, and for whatever reason, Amir waits to throw to third until Lindsay arrives at the bag. Don't ask. Don't ask me why. Sheila fouls one off. 1-1 the count. Sheila only 2 for 4 today. But hopefully everybody's batting stat lines will be rather inflated by the time this inning ends, and this is why I don't like to grounder with Shane and Sheila. That was too close to a really, really, really stupid, annoying double play. Fortunately, Lindsay was safe. Alright, so I tried groundering once. That was stupid. Sheila grounds one straight to the pitcher for the second out. Should have stuck with line drive. Lindsay does score, though, so sacrifice grounder. It's 17-1 currently. Would definitely like to rack up some more runs before we're done here. Do not trust Tyler to get worse than plus 19. Cindy with some nasty pitches to Dimitri. Tiring herself out, but, you know, might not matter if she gets him like this. And pop it to third. Ahmed is there. Ahmed catches it, and that is a disappointment for me. I was hoping to get much, much more from this game. Could still definitely be enough to win, but I'm gonna be living on the edge here, and given what my next 2 games are on this schedule, I need this win if I want any hope of being relevant this season. So, yep, Cindy gives it her all there in the last at bat to get that crucial third out and stop the flow of blood. If the Rangers win, I nominate Cindy Chang for player of the game. That was after I was foolish enough to use a grounder on Sheila. All the grounder ball proponents keep getting into my head here. Grounders are just not good for me. Next week I am playing the Monsters, which are a team that is built very well, I think, to take advantage of all of my weaknesses. I have the Twins next after that. Okay. So Twins aren't so bad, but then after that is the Mariners, who are just an overpowered team, so yeah. I'm penciling those two in as losses already. Twins I might be able to beat. We'll see. I don't think we have that good of a chance personally against the Mariners. The Mariners are just too good. Ace is just too good. I'm just too not good. Anyway, while all that was going on, Jay Green, after getting just 2 strikeouts for the rest of the game, strikes out Pete Wheeler and Amir Khan back-to-back. And that is going to end the game. Final score for today, Melonheads 17, Rangers 1. A good game, but not as good of a game as I really wanted. Could be a win, could just as easily end up being a loss. We will see. Plus 19. So, I mean, Tyler has to score 20 or more to beat me, and of course that doesn't account for the Melonheads scoring as an AI, which is probably going to happen. He's given up runs before in both of his games to the AI, and the Melonheads are a big offense. So, we'll see. We shall see. Gave myself a solid chance. Not as good of a chance as I was hoping to. Most interesting around the league result, perhaps, is the fact that the Green Monsters held out for 10 innings before ultimately losing with no runs to the St. Louis Cardinals. Biggest AI score of the week is the A's beating the Braves, which sounds about right. Stats this game, a very subdued game compared to last. Both Heather and Stan... Well, no, Stan drew a walk. Heather only got on base once. Stan, Sheila, and Fabian all only twice. I only made it 4 whole times around the lineup. It was still good. I mean, I scored 17 runs, but nowhere near as good as before. So, player of the game, I'm going to call it... It's very close. Jay and Stan had... Jay and Shane had very similar stat lines. Ultimately, I'm going to call Jay Green the player of the game. 3 for 3 with a single, 2 doubles, and... a single, 2 doubles, a walk. Scored 3 times, batted in 2, and pitched a complete game, giving up only 1 run on the mound. So his valuable pitching performance is enough to seal the deal for me. Honorable mention to Shane. Of note, I got no triples or home runs in the entire game, but I did get 7 doubles. That's more than I got last game. 16 stolen bases total, a good total, but definitely beatable. Amusingly enough, Phil Nevin was the person with the most stolen bases this game. So yeah, we'll see how this game goes. Yep, Jay, 5 hits allowed, 1 run allowed, only 4 strikeouts. Serviceable pitching performance, but not exactly Ace Wilson material. So yes, coming up next week we play against the Monsters, who have a lot of speedy players who can get good coverage of the ball, are going to tear up my defense, and overall I think are probably the most threatening other team in the league, other than the Mariners, who we get to take on Week 6. So, probably not going to be so pretty of a stream next week, especially since we'll be away from our home and we'll be at Dubois Diamond, but we'll see. Hopefully we will have fun in any case. Alright, that will be it for tonight, everybody. Thank you, as always, for watching. Hope you have a good evening.